Hi guys, today is December 13, 2021, and like I told you in our previous episode, today we'll talk about the Silicon Valley Preppers and some of the reasons why they are doing it. Please stay tuned. For this topic, we are going to use an article published in the New York on January 2017. I would like you to pay attention. I'm saying 2017. Since then, Silicon Valley billionaires, techs, are prepping for any scenario. And these are the few silicon preppers that were willing to share some of their preparedness and why. And some of these silicon preppers appear in that documentary that I was telling you about. So if it sounds familiar, and if you know about them, then it's even better because you know that this is the real deal. Let's start with Steve Huffman, co-founder and CEO of Reddit. He says that he got laser surgery not for the convenience or appearance, but he hopes this will improve his odds of surviving a disaster, whether natural or man-made. His reason or concern for prepping is not the disaster per se, being this an earthquake, a pandemic, or a dirty bomb, but the aftermath, the temporary collapse of the government and structures. He said he has a bunch of guns and ammo, and he is planning on bugging in his house in San Francisco. Antonio Garcia Martinez, former Facebook product manager, living in San Francisco, bought a 5 wooded acres on an island in the Pacific Northwest and brought in generators, solar panels, and thousands of rounds of ammunition. His main concern is the collapse of society due to automatization, a problem, as he puts it. The Silicon Valley techs are responsible for it. He understands the need of a local militia in order to ride out the apocalypse. Tim Chang, a managing director for Mayfield Fund, described how there is a bunch of them that are prepping in different forms. Some stocking up on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Others finding out how to get a second citizenship or a second passport, or having vacation homes in other countries that could be escape havens. He is prepping, buying, or as he said, stockpiling on real estate to generate passive income, but also to have havens to go. He and his wife, who also works in the technology field, keep a set of bags packed for themselves and their daughter, just in case of an earthquake or a full-scale terrorist attack scenario. Reid Hoffman, co-founder of, and pardon my pronunciation, LinkedIn, estimates that more than 50% of his fellow Silicon Valley billionaires have acquired some kind of doomsday hideaway spots in the US or elsewhere in the world. His reason: anything can happen in a blink of an eye. Some other CEOs that didn't want to disclose their names or the corporation they work out but agree on say what are they doing, how are they preparing, told the New Yorker that they have helicopters ready to bug out if need be. Other CEOs, tech billionaires, or techs meet in private Facebook groups to plan ahead, even as they say the chances of something big happens is very remote, but just the probability, the possibility that it could happen makes them prepare. And guys, we could go on and on and on, but I think by now you get the point. They are preparing. They are preparing. They know that it's not a matter of if, but when it's going to happen. So, the main question for us is, if the Silicon Valley techs and billionaires are actively and extensively prepping, why don't you? If the answer is that you don't know where to start, the answer is simple. Ask yourself, if tomorrow a catastrophe, a worst case scenario, being this natural or man made happens in your area, how are you prepared to handle it without expecting the government to step in and help? See, guys, the government is going to be tied up solving their own issues. So it's up to you to step in and take care of yourself and loved ones. Check your pantry and try to stock up food for at least 3 weeks. It doesn't matter if it is just beans. It doesn't matter if it is rice or pasta or just canned food. What matters is that you are prepared. The goal here is to be self-sufficient. If you have a relative or a friend that lives in another town away from your area, talk to them. Ask if in the event that you need to bag out, if you can go to their place, and tell them you will bring your own food so you don't become a burden to them. Anyways, this is a topic that deserves more time and discussion, but the main concept here is that prepping needs to be an active part of your life until it becomes second nature to you and later becomes a lifestyle. If the billionaires at Silicon Valley are doing it, I guess we better do it. Because when the tortilla hits the fan, it's going to be messy, guys. Really, really messy. And guys, if I managed to survive and thrive during a civil war back in El Salvador, now, while there is peace, we all should be able to do it. Guys, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and remember, better be prepared than sorry. And please wait for our next episode in which we'll talk about how the governments are preparing too.